Hey folks, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you wherever you are. I greet all of you and welcome to my YouTube channel again. And earlier I talked about how did I pass my Azure Fundamental AZ 900 exam sitting online, sitting at home by using Pearson View portal. I gave another exam of Azure, which is Azure 700, and this is about designing, implementing Microsoft Azure networking solution. So what was the need for me to go for this exam? The one thing that I've already discussed earlier, that most of my clients are moving towards the cloud, not moving in terms of physically, their applications are getting migrated towards the cloud. So when the application goes to the cloud, how the connectivity from on-premises to the cloud happens, that's what I need to understand. And what is the the cost, commercial involved. So for that, AZ 900, the fundamental, helped me a lot, where I understood the basic concept, the services of Azure, like what all Azure services: compute, storage, migration, database, analytics, networking, security, monitoring, prospective, Sanitel, and all that stuff is there. So Azure Fundamental talks about basic services, costing, understanding the Azure infrastructure, what is their availability zone, that you call their data center, and their regions, their virtual network, and what type of storage are there, blob storage, and all that stuff. What sort of database is there, MySQL, SQL, Microsoft SQL, in terms of networking, VNet peering, what the basic stuff, security, identity, all those were there in Azure Fundamental exams. Now, the reason for opting AZ 700, designing and implementing Microsoft Azure network solution, was because I belong to a networking background, so I wanted to understand how setup happens, how the VPN connectivity works, what all sort of options available to connect on premises to Azure services, VPC. Sorry, the VNet. VPC is a part of Amazon, that I'll be talking about when I'll be doing the comparison of AWS and Azure's services. So I'll do all that stuff. So how did I pass? Again, the same story, because the course is available on the Microsoft portal, and there are number of modules: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 modules, starting from introduction to the Azure Virtual Network. What is Azure Virtual Network? And then you talk about the design and implementation, the hybrid networking part, designing, implement Azure Express route. What is Azure Express route? That gives you a direct connectivity. It's like a direct connect in AWS. You don't want to use a VPN connection. You don't want to use internet publicly exposed your enterprises. So you get a backbone, you get a dedicated peering with Microsoft Edge router and your Edge router, and maybe the the provider is in between. So there are 3 types of express route services available. Then you have load balancing, HTTPS. How the load balancing, where there are 3-4 types of load balancer. The application gateway, the legacy load balancer is also there. The load balancing happens through the traffic manager at the global level. So all these stuff is there. Designing and implementing the network security part through the network security group, that is also very important part. So all these modules, it took me around 8 weeks time, I would say. 8 days time, more than a week, I would say. But it's up to you how much time you want to dedicate each day. If you're giving 2 hours, so let's say 2 hours on each module would be enough for you to go and attempt for this certification. This is not very difficult for a person who has already done CCNA and CCNP. because the basic networking concept will remain same, root table and all that stuff, CIDR. It just, the concepts are same, but the new terminologies and new way of doing things of networking. So it is more interesting for people coming from the networking background. So I myself CCI written and attempted the lab, so it excited me more and I went for it. I studied for 8 days, all 8 modules, given 2 hours to each module, and booked my exam, scheduled my exam through Pearson VUE, sitting at home. Same experience, they will ask you to remove everything which is document in any form of document should not be there. Clean desk policy. Okay, implement virtual network. The first module talks about configuring public IP addresses, design and implement name resolution. How do you connect? How do you first create a VNet, virtual network, and first you create you design your subnetting and all that stuff. You design the DNS resolution, then you do the VNet peering, the VNet connectivity, then implement virtual network routing, then design and implement the Azure virtual network. So each module has subsections, so if you go through them one by one, there are sample questions are also available in each module. They are very important and very helpful. Majority of the questions in the certificate exams were from these sections only.